Hi everyone, my name is Kate and I teach the lesson called The Psychology Behind Mind Reading and the Pressure to Be Perfect. Now the first question that I always pose to my students is, do you think that you can mind read? So I get a variety of responses to this big question. I get some students who say, I can totally read other people's minds. I am so observant of what other people do and I can totally predict what somebody else is thinking. I then get the total opposite response from some students saying, no, every person is totally unique and respond to situations in a totally different way than I do. I cannot predict what other people are thinking. Well, what psychology says about this is that every single person, starting when you're just a young baby, is able to actually read other people's minds. Now, you might not believe me right now, but give me a chance, all right? So what psychology thinks that everybody has is this thing called theory of mind. It's the idea that you can understand that somebody else has a different mind than you and therefore has different thoughts and feelings than you do. So, for example, I really like horror movies, but I know one of my friends doesn't like horror movies. She also doesn't like roller coasters. She doesn't like a lot of those thrill-seeking things. So if I were to tell her, why don't we go bungee jumping? I definitely know she would tell me flat out no. Because I can understand that she likes different things than I do and would react to things in a different way than I would. So in that way, I can predict and read her mind. Now, psychology has 3 theories about how we're able to actually read other people's minds. And the name of these theories are simulation theory, and hybrid theory. So simulation theory is the idea that you imagine putting yourself in somebody else's shoes. So you imagine that you're that person in that particular situation and think about how you would think or feel. So for example, if I were to see my friend get a paper cut, I would imagine how I would feel if I had a paper cut. So I think about the last time that I had a paper cut, I was pretty angry and frustrated and in pain. So I would think that that person was feeling those exact same things. Now, there's another theory that competes against simulation theory called theory theory. Theory theory is the idea that you have theories about a particular person or a group of people that they're different from you in some way, so they'll react to a situation in a different way than you would. So, for example, my sister is a great cook. I am not that great of a cook, okay? So I would have a theory that if she were assigned to, say do Thanksgiving dinner, she would do an awesome job. But if I were to try to imagine being in charge of doing Thanksgiving dinner, I would feel terrified about possibly, creating some really not so nice food. But she would not have any of that anxiety. So I know she would enjoy that a lot. So that's an example of theory theory. Now lastly, we have hybrid theory. So this blends simulation theory and theory theory. It says when you see somebody in a situation you've been in the past, or that person seems pretty similar to you in a lot of different ways, you're more likely to use simulation theory because it's more easy for you to imagine yourself as that person in that situation. But then in times when that person seems very different from you, or in a situation you've never been in before, you're more likely to use your theories, use theory theory to understand how they might be thinking or feeling. Now we've explored that human beings can read other people's minds, and we've talked about how they're able to do this. Now I challenge you to think about, why are human beings able to think about what other people are thinking about them? How could this benefit us? We're always told never think about what other people think about you, only care what you think about yourself. Well, think about it. It actually benefits you to actually know what other people are thinking and feeling, to be able to care for them better. And also, people who like you tend to also do you favors too, So there's many reasons why. And in the rest of my lesson, I'll explore more of what psychology says about that, as well as try to help you to think about how can you balance what other people think about you and what you yourself think about. These are questions that even adults have to face during their lives, and it's hard to navigate. But we talk about it more through the use of role models, trying to think about the type of people that you want to be in the future. So I hope this gets you thinking about that, and thank you so much for listening.